So I deployed 2 times with the 101st Airborne Division. Each of those times I came back physically unscathed, and I was on a training mission. I was helping facilitate another unit to a big training mission, and we were all done. And the last night, I decided to go do my laundry, and I didn't walk out of there. Another soldier had and was beating me to death. I don't know why. I don't know what really happened or what provoked it. I just know I woke up 2 weeks later in the hospital with my wife, my mother, and 2 of my buddies from the Army, and I didn't seem to understand. I guess that's kind of how it was for those first few weeks. It's kind of like Groundhog's Day. I kept waking up like what happened? Like, what's going on?
They had told me that tell the police that they should be looking for a weapon because there's no way a man could do this with just his bare hands. That they have never seen such trauma to the face. Literally every bone in his face was not just broken but shattered. He had a fractured skull. He had bilateral blowouts of his eyes, a broken nose, a shattered jaw. After a brain injury, of any sort, you kind of lose who you are altogether as a person. In the months of healing, there's some very dark times, and you kind of lose touch with all humanity.
There's a very, very bad statistic with brain injuries and marriages, and it's something over 90% of marriages end up in divorce after a brain injury. And I completely understand why. I was very lucky to have my wife by my side this whole time. I don't know many other women that would have stuck by me through this. I was not the same person. I was a different person. I was angry, quick to anger, mad all the time, and just didn't feel happiness. I didn't feel joy anymore. Honestly, I remember telling her, like, you just need to go. I'm not going to get better. But through the grace of God, I did. And she stuck with me the whole time. And I'm forever grateful for that. So I just started coming to Fusion to support my wife. And the more I showed up, the more it all started to make sense. Things started clicking. And I was like, there's no way this is a coincidence. There's too many coincidences in my life for me not to be like, there's something. There's something out there, and it's greater than anything I could have ever imagined. Because that night, I shouldn't have lived. The doctors told me, like, you don't realize how lucky you are to be alive. I've never seen anything like this, but for some reason I lived. I have a purpose. There's a reason I'm alive. There's a reason we're still together. There's a reason for everything, and it's greater than I'll ever understand. You don't always understand why these bad things happen to us, but in time you will. And this whole incident, everything I've been through with my wife, my kids, the Army, everything was for a reason. It wasn't until I finished the Freedom Group, the convention, I felt free. That was real freedom. I left a lot of baggage I had. I left it at the cross, and it was freeing. That is real freedom, freedom through Christ.
I personally was holding a lot of anger and hurt and unforgiveness for the man who almost took my husband's life. So through Freedom, it was the first time I actually prayed for the gentleman that almost killed my husband. And not only prayed for him and his family, but I was able to fully let go of all that hurt and pain that he had caused us. Something I didn't think I was ever going to be able to do. So if it wasn't for Freedom and Fusion here, I don't think we would be where we are today, lighter and better for it.
At the age of 37, with one decent working eye, I see clearer now than I ever have. And I've got a lot to learn. I try to live in God's grace, but I fail every day. But I'm doing better. I'm doing a lot better. And it's this church. It's helped me bring me back to life. And I'm very grateful for it.